Welcome to Business Life here on EDTV Channel 20. This is a series designed to introduce us to businesses around New Jersey and the people who make them work. Our first guest who we're pleased to introduce is Dr. Mazur, the president of Sussex County Community College. Andrew LaBelle will be speaking with him. Andrew?
Thanks, Caitlin. I'd like to greet our first ever guest on our Business Life show here at Sussex County Community College, the president of the college, Dr. Mazur. Thank you for being here.
Nice to be here, Andrew.
All right. So, that's a pretty impressive title you have as the president of the college. Was that always your goal to be a president of the college when you came out of college?
Oh, no. This was the farthest thing from my mind. In fact, when I finished graduate school, I had never intended to be in higher education again. I was so tired of education. But it's something that I fell into after I started teaching in 1987. And then later on, I had the opportunity to move into administration. And once I moved into administration, I decided that was the life for me. And so for the last 12 years, I have progressively moved up within higher education as a dean, vice president, and president of the college.
Okay, so what are some of your responsibilities as an administrator?
The president has responsibility for all operations of the college, and so I oversee all of the financial operations, all of the facilities operations, the academic enterprise. Everything that we do is under my purview, and I think different presidents act differently. For example, I tend to prefer to delegate responsibilities and have my senior administrators have primary responsibilities for their areas, and I only step in when I have some ideas that I want to talk about or whatever, and we move on from there. But there are times when you have to move into something in a more direct way. My experience, for example, tells me that there are certain ways to do things or something like that, and I'll want to impose that, and so I'll move in a more direct operational style on that.
Okay. It sounds like you have a lot of business decisions to take care of as an administrator. So, do you have any business background? Did you take any classes in college that were business oriented?
Not a one.
Not one?
Actually, I shouldn't say that. Actually, a third of my graduate degree, in my master's degree, is in international economics, and so I at least have that piece of it. And my doctoral degree is actually in public administration, which I consider to be a program that gravitates somewhere between political science and business administration. I focused mostly on the political science side of public administration, but still there are things in that you learn about. But I generally have almost everything that I do at the college I've learned through on-the-job training and experience, just jumping in and doing it.
Okay, that brings me to actually the business program here at Sussex County Community College. A lot of our professors have a lot of on-the-job experience, so do you think that's very important?
It's extremely important. Anytime that we can convey how to do things and how things really work as opposed to what you learn in the book. Books often focus on training. It depends on what kind of business administration you're looking at, but for example, accounting is very formalized. You have to go through a whole series of things like that. But a lot of the stuff that you're actually going to do on the job, you'll learn some of that from the books, but a lot of it is going to be your experience on the job, because so much of what you have to do, especially when you move up into leadership positions, is interpersonal relations and stuff like that. You have to know how to interact with people, when to push, when to back off, those kinds of things. My view is you can't learn that from a book. You have to do it by experience.
Okay, so personally, what class do you think would be best at Sussex County Community College that is business oriented would help you with those skills?
I don't know that there is. I think it is good to take, I think it's good to have a broad general education for business background as well as specifics within whatever particular area of business that you're interested in. So for example, I think that when you take the broad general education background, if you're taking interpersonal communications, for example, as a course, to get some experience and some feel for how that works and the dynamics of those. I think that's very important. I think having good writing skills is important. I hear that from business leaders all the time. This is something they're particularly worried about. A good command of basic math and an understanding of those principles. And then within business, I think it's important to at least understand the basic principles of marketing and management. And I think you can get that from texts and from in the class. But I think when you have teachers who have had business experience, they can sort out the wheat from the chaff that you'll find in textbooks.
Okay, yeah, it kind of sounds like you're going through like my course requirements to get an associate's degree in business administration here at County. So what is your, like, the first song you go to on your playlist?
My musical tastes are lost in the 60s and the 70s, and there's no one song.
Okay.
There are groups, though, and groups that are at the top of my list are groups like Led Zeppelin, and on another end of the spectrum, Simon and Garfunkel, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, groups like that. Currently, I've been listening to Adele a bit. What's a song, Someone Like You or something like that is one of the songs that comes to my mind. Skyfall was another, you know.
All right. So I mean, like, you get both sides of the spectrum a little bit with Led Zeppelin and then,
I don't go in for Bieber. I don't go in for
no, not Bieber.
Timberlake.
You don't want Bieber fever at all?
God, please, spare me.
Okay, but do you think like music helps you like while you're doing work, or is that something you keep separate?
Oh, music that helps me do work. When I was 16 or 17 years old, I got into Baroque and medieval chamber music, and I love listening to that type of music. And Georg Telemann is one of my favorite composers, German guy, but also some of the Italian and French masters as well. So when I'm working and I need background music, that's what I prefer to listen to.
All right, that's very cool. So who is someone that inspires you?
Oh, this goes totally outside of academia. My career path was not always in higher education. I have done a lot of things in my life, and there are a series of leaders that no one would ever think of as being inspirational for my doing what I'm doing. But people like Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi. There are some other spiritual leaders that I have followed, and the importance of that is it keeps me grounded in the ethics of what I'm doing. You know, it's very easy to get off track, and I think ethics is extremely important in whatever we're doing. I think it's very important to be high-minded about that and do as much as possible above board. So.
Just another thing you cover in your business class, ethics. But so what's your favorite sports team?
Oh, Pittsburgh Steelers, Pittsburgh Pirates right now.
I don't know if the
Pirates
Sussex County people agree with you on that.
Pirates are in the playoffs. I hail from Pittsburgh, and everyone that I know who has left Pittsburgh has never really left Pittsburgh, and it's an odd town in that way.
Okay. So speaking of Pittsburgh, there's big universities like Carnegie Mellon, the University of Pittsburgh, you know, kind of like you could say attractive colleges. But what is your pitch to convince kids to come to Sussex County Community College rather than a big college like those?
Right. I think that's tough, but my pitch is that the community college, I got into the community college late in life, and when I got into it, I didn't really know what it was about. I went to the big colleges. I went to Pitt, and I went to Johns Hopkins, and I've been through that experience. But when I got into the community colleges were people like me. The students of community colleges were people like me. That is to say, I came out of a relatively modest background. My family was relatively not well off. We were working class or even poor. And I saw a lot of students like me at the community college. Not that that's the main selling point, but it's an important piece to understand what draws. Once I got into the community colleges, the attractiveness of it was the dedication of the faculty and staff to student success. In some colleges, not all, in some community colleges, although not all, the relatively small class sizes, we generally don't have any auditorium kind of classes, for example, which you'll see at a big university or whatever. And the other piece of nowadays is the cost. There's, you know, if you look at even what it costs to go to a state university, for, you know, when you add in your room and board and all that sort of thing, you know, it's a lot less expensive to come to a community college, stay in your home community, get a really good education for the first 2 years of the college, save $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 depending on which four-year college you go to, then go to your four-year college and get your degree. So I think that's what's really important.
Okay, one last question before we wrap it up. What do you think of the business club on our campus?
I have to say I don't know much about it. I'm glad to see that you're involved in doing things like this and the other activities that I have seen occasionally on campus. I think it plays a role if is part of the educational process if you are doing things that are related to the kinds of developing the business acumen that you're going to be developing. And I think anything that gets you out in the community and whatever work you do, whether it's the community on the campus or the community off the campus, in terms of talking to people and stuff like that, it helps your own personal, gives you a personal advantage in terms of how things work and how things can be moved forward.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much once again. It's our first guest, Dr. Mazer, and you were great. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks.
Thanks, Andrew. When we get back, we have Mary Ellen Donner, Professor of Business and Advisor of the Business Club. Back after this.
I came to Sussex about 2 years ago from Newton High School. We came to Sussex County Community College, we walked around the campus and went to the open house, and I was very impressed by the campus and what they had to offer, so I decided to come to Sussex County Community College.
I was overwhelmed with how many different activities that were available for us, but I snatched up all the opportunities I could, and everything I've done, it's been awesome.
They don't just come here and leave. Our students are very involved. You can see by the amount of clubs and activities that we offer and have that our students are never bored.
We have faculty who are totally dedicated to the success of their students.
It's a way to, to be able to give back and to make a difference. I think that's really why we're here. And that's why most of us teach, is because we want to make a difference. We want to make a difference to those people that need us the most. And that's why we do it.
It really helped me in terms of just becoming a new individual or learning more about myself and just meeting new different types of people being around this campus.
It would be a great opportunity for me to go to school over here. So I took my placement test this summer and now I'm taking classes and I'm really excited about it.
We strive to make our courses as rigorous and as complete as any course they would get at any other four-year institutions.
To come here and complete your requirements, your basic general education is a wonderful thing, and it's a real cost saver for families, especially in this day and age.
One friend's racked up about $20,000, and I have another friend who's racked up over $50,000 in debt, and they were all bragging about going away, and now I'm actually on top of debt-free, and I'll be graduating with 2 majors.
One of the big reasons why I chose Sussex was because it was affordable. And in comparing it to some of the other colleges, the price was definitely less. Plus, it was just close to home and easy to get to. And then on top of that, the first time I visited Sussex, I felt like the staff there were just very helpful and I got a really good, friendly impression from everybody that I met on campus.
I would certainly say one reason why a student would want to attend Sussex County Community College is because of the tight-knit community that we have here. When you come to our college, you are going to find faculty that want to be with students, that will take the time to sit down and focus one-on-one with issues or problems that students may be having in class, or even to just chat, to talk to them about how important college involvement is. It really embodies community.
It was just really nice to know I had that individual time to get to know my professors and really help me learn and keep me going in the right direction.
They always made themselves available to you. If you had any questions, I was never embarrassed to ask a question. I never felt that they were judging me or that I wasn't paying attention. It was just genuine concern. They wanted me to succeed.
I sat there in a room of 200 students and I was lost. And if I had to ask a question, there was no way I was going to be able to survive. I needed that 30-person classroom where I could stick my hand in the air and go, help me. And that's what we give our students. I think that's what I bring from my undergraduate experience here, is that we like our students to sort of wander up, knock on the door and go, can you help me? That's probably the best experience we have here.
I earned my associate's degree in just 2 years, and that enabled me to move forward onto Ramapo College of New Jersey, where I earned my bachelor's degree, and now I'm going forward in my career.
We appreciate your taking the time to learn about Sussex County Community College. We are proud of our tradition of offering a quality, affordable education in a caring environment. Our staff and faculty will take the time to get to know you and your unique needs. We will provide you with opportunities to learn and grow through hundreds of events and activities that take place on campus. Whether your goal is to transfer to a four-year institution or gain employment, we are committed to helping you succeed. I look forward to welcoming you to campus.
Welcome back to Business Life here on EDTV Channel 20. And here's Andrew with our next guest.
Thanks, Caitlin. I'd like to introduce our second guest, the president of the Business Club here at Sussex County Community College, Professor Donner.
Nice to be here, Andrew. Thank you.
All right, Professor Donner, tell me, how did the Business Club start here?
Well, it started when I was an adjunct and I was teaching accounting, and I had 4 students come to me after class one day and ask me why we didn't have a business club. And I didn't have an answer for them because I had no idea. So I went and I talked to our dean, at the time Dean William Waite, who is now our interim vice president of academic affairs. And Dean Waite smiled at me when I went in and asked, and all of a sudden he handed me a folder and he said, "Are you interested? Here you go. This is what you need to do." So I went back to the students and I said, "I guess I'm now your advisor, and I guess we're going to have a club." And so that's how it started. And our very first guest was the dad of one of the students that asked me to help them start the club. So that was, we were off with that. We had had a business club here many years ago, but it had fallen by the wayside. The students lost interest in it. But since about 2007, we have been going strong, so it's great.
Okay, so tell me, what is the purpose of the Business Club?
Well, the Business Club is to act as an enhancement program to your classes so that we can have speakers come in and make what you're learning in class become real, to become alive. And you can actually see hands-on how the topics you learn are actually integrated into business. So we have speakers from every different walk of the business careers, so that you can also have a flavor of a taste of the different types of careers that are available to you.
Okay, so how did some past students benefit from this?
Well, I have a very nice story to share with you, and this is very appropriate to start this first segment with this, or first segment with a professor with this. I had a student that listened to Terrence Wynn from Edward Jones come in and give a presentation to the Rotaract Club and the Business Club students. The student's name was Ryan. Ryan was so taken with Terrence that afterwards he shared contact information with Terrence, and he stayed in touch with Terrence. And Terrence became a mentor to him. And Ryan went on to graduate from Ramapo, and from there he went into the training program of Edward Jones. And this past Monday, as I was driving to work, I saw Ryan open the door with his own key to the Edward Jones office in Newton, right off of the square in Newton, and I watched him walk into his very first day as a financial advisor for Edward Jones. And I think if he had not met Terrence that day, I'm not sure which direction he would have taken, but Terrence really took a liking to him. So that's one of our great success stories. We have many success stories. Another example of it, we had William Patterson University, a representative come in and talk about their sales program when it was starting out to get a degree in professional sales. And we had 2 students sit through that presentation. They were so inspired, they went on to William Patterson University, majored in professional sales, and before they graduated, they both got jobs very quickly in this economy. One is working for Stryker and one is working for Tilcon, and they are doing very good in their sales division of both companies. So another success story. We have another young lady who is the president of the business club, Nita Bravlik. She studied accounting here, went on to major in accounting at Montclair University, and before she graduated, she was hired by one of the big 4 accounting firms, Deloitte. So she is also out there in the business field. So it makes it very rewarding for the professors here to see that you not only learn in the classroom, but you're learning through our enhancement programs and you're being inspired.
Okay. Well, it seems like you and other professors in the business program have inspired a lot of students to go on and have success in the future. But what has inspired you to become a college professor and a very successful woman?
Well, first of all, I didn't start out to be a college professor. I kind of fell into this. But I had a teacher in high school, Mrs. Taylor, who was my accounting teacher. And I went to an all-girls private high school where at that time women didn't go really into accounting as a profession. And she was inspirational to all of us in the class and told us we could do what we wanted to do. And that inspired me. That said, stand back and watch me. I'm going to become an accountant and I'm going to keep going and I'm going to be very successful. So that led me through my career in the corporate world. And then I was fortunate in the corporate world to be very successful. So I'm retired from the corporate world. But I had to do something with my time. And so I fell into this job. A friend of mine recommended me to tutor in the Learning Center. And when he arrived at the Learning Center with my resume, they said, why doesn't she want to teach? So he said, can I borrow your phone? And he called me right from the desk in the Learning Center and said, why don't you want to teach? I said, I don't have a teaching background. I don't think I can teach. And needless to say, 3 weeks later, I was hired as an adjunct here. I went through the interview process and I was hired. And my husband said to me, look, you can do anything for 15 weeks. Give it a try. See what happens. And so I said, all right, I'll give it a try. And we're almost 10 years later. So I really like it here.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so you've done accounting, teaching. I mean, those are both great, but what do you really do for fun in your spare time?
I spend a lot of time with my family, and a lot of students know I love to go to the beach. We have a recreational camper that we take by the beach, and we have a lot of fun. And my daughter is a professional photographer, and one of the things I like to do is go out on a photography shoot with her and just take lots of pictures and have fun. I'm not nearly as good as she is, but it's a lot of fun to go out with her.
Sounds like you could do it all. But
Wow.
all right. Give me your best pitch of why to come to Sussex County Community College.
I think Sussex County Community College is a rare gem in Sussex County. You have many professors here that have worked before they became teachers, instructors, professors that can share a wealth of knowledge both in the business area and all the other disciplines at this college. And with that type of resource in your professors, you can't get any better. Plus, our professors make connections with our students, and we get to know our students. If you go to a great big university, that connection isn't going to be there. Plus, my favorite thing to say, too, is, since I'm a certified financial planner, that this is one of the best financial aid tools you could find. Why go to a college and spend all sorts of money when you can come here, find yourself, take all the preliminary courses you need, and then transfer to your four-year institution. So I think this is a win-win no matter what way you look at Sussex County Community College.
Okay. What single field would you suggest a business major to go into right now?
Well, there are a lot of jobs available, job opportunities for accounting majors. And I think accounting is a good basis for any type of business career you are looking at. So I would suggest accounting at the moment.
Okay. All right. For after community college, you go get your bachelor's, but would you suggest after your bachelor's, do you believe a student should go straight to the workforce or try to go to graduate school?
Well, I look at it this way. Financially, if you can't afford graduate school right away, don't put yourself in any more debt than that you can't handle. So, or if you don't know what you want to do, I would say get out into the workforce, find out what you like and what you don't like, and then go to graduate school. If financially you don't have a limitation on you, you're not in debt, then by all means go ahead and get your graduate degree. Get it as fast as you can and then go out into the working world. So I think you have to look at your own individual situation. Some people just know right away what they want to get their graduate degree in, but some people need to find themselves, just like you need to find your own major in college. So it just depends on the person, and it also depends on your financial situation. Very important factor in these economic times.
Okay. So, I mean, not everyone's sure about like what they want to do or what they're going to do. I mean, that's what most 19-year-olds are like. What was your, what kind of advice would you give to your 19-year-old self if you could go back and talk to yourself?
Well, I tell myself not to sweat the small stuff, and I would have wished somebody was there to tell me that things would be okay. You are going to work hard, but you're going to be a success, and you measure your success personally. So don't listen to the negativity other people say to you. Just proceed the way you want to in your career path. Be happy. Take time to have some fun, and don't sweat that small stuff. I sweat everything. I'm a nervous Nelly. So I was always
sweating right now.
I was always nervous. I was always worried. Somebody told me I couldn't do something. I'd be like, oh my goodness, why? Why did they say that to me? Really? Who cares? As long as you're happy and as long as you feel you're successful, that's the most important advice I could give you.
And your debits and credits are matching, right?
Yes, always. You got to balance your debits and credits. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'd like to thank you again for being on our show. Professor Donner, you're great, and thank you again.
My pleasure, Andrew. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. In our next program, we're going to be talking with Tammy Horsfield, the Director of Sussex County Chamber of Commerce. And again, we'd like to thank Professor Donner and Dr. Mazur for participating on The Business Life. And a special thanks to the Communications Club, TV Production 1, and EDTV Channel 20 for producing the television show. I'm Caitlin Zagola, and on behalf of all of us here, we'll see you next time.